Buongiorno! It's Fadra. Why am I talking Italian today? Because I'm talking about the Fiat 500X. Not the Fiat 500, that's the little tiny Fiat. Not the Fiat 500L, which is the tiny Fiat stretched. This is the Fiat 500X, and this sits firmly in the compact crossover space. It's kind of like someone who wants the versatility of an SUV but doesn't quite want to commit to an SUV. And I'm glad I had a chance to spend a week in this vehicle. Let me tell you why. Because if you watched my video, I did a Fiat 500X road review. I went up to New York, I did a nice long scenic drive along the Hudson River Valley, and I came back feeling okay about this car. Honestly, I thought it was okay. But after spending a week, I got to know it inside and out, and I actually fell in love with this car. So I'm going to take you through the good, the bad, there's nothing ugly, and then we'll talk about the price and see what it takes to get you in one of these if that's something you're interested in checking out. So if you're familiar with the Fiat 500X, I'm going to show you what's new for 2019. If you're not familiar, stay tuned, because I'm going to show you more than you could possibly want to know. What is new? Front and rear fascia. I actually think it looks pretty good here. The other thing that's new is something that I can't show you yet, but I'm going to talk about, and that is what's under the hood, a 1.3 liter turbocharged engine that delivers, I'm telling you. The other thing that you can't see, but that to me is pretty significant, is that all-wheel drive is standard on this vehicle. Other than that, new colors are available, including this one, which looks like it's vibrant green, but I think if I put on my Italian, it's vibrante. So this is actually the color that I would pick. Their marketing group is really good at picking out the beautiful cars. So let's do a quick walk around. I'll show you what else is new, and then we'll head to the inside and then get behind the wheel. One thing I didn't mention is the trim level. So this is the Fiat 500X Trekking. There are a couple different models. This is pretty close to the top. There's a Trekking Plus that allows options for leather and for sunroof and things like that. But this is the Trekking, and one of the options that this one has is it's upgraded from 17-inch to 18-inch wheels, and that gives you these rims. These are called matte anthracite rims, and also this is an upgrade. These are not just a different size tire, but these are all-season performance tires. Up on top, this is also an option, the roof rack. I don't care if you ever use that roof rack. I just think it makes vehicles look better. So I always opt for the roof rack up on top. A couple other things here is you've got the keyless entry, push of a button. My keys are inside, so of course it's not working, but I use this all the time. I also want to show you the rear of the vehicle because I think it's super cute back there. This is the rear, new rear fascia. I don't know where because I'm not that familiar with the previous model, but I want to talk about the aesthetics here because I actually really like this accent. I talked about this in my other video that I did, but right here in the center of the taillights, they have the body color right in here. And you'll also see this same accent on the interior of the car, which I'll show you in just a minute. So the all-wheel drive badging, but since we're back here, let's go ahead and take a look at what's in the rear because cargo space matters when you've got a vehicle like this. It's fairly small back here, right? But I can tell you that my family of 3 did go away for the weekend. We piled our suitcases back here and we have plenty of room. We did not even use the back seat for any of our stuff, so it all fit back here nicely. There are a couple of features back here that I'm gonna explore. I've read about and I'm a little confused, so I mean, that just goes with the territory. But back here, it's supposed to have a variable load floor, which to me means that this can go high or this can go low. Now, I just took this out to take a look at it, and that's not possible here. And I think I know why. Let me show you. So one of the options that this Fiat has is this right here. Yes, this compact spare tire is an option. So I'm guessing if you did not get this option, then you would be able to raise and lower this floor so you could have deeper storage. So kind of a weird trade-off. You either have a spare tire, and if you don't have a spare, they give you a tire repair kit. I think that's what they call it. But if you do have the spare, it looks like maybe you just have this load floor right here. I would like more space, so that's sort of a catch-22. I want my spare tire, but I want more cargo space. That's just a choice that you'd have to make, I guess. While we're back here, let's look at putting those seats down. Let's see, putting those seats down. I'm assuming they go down. You know what? I think that's something that we have to do from the inside. So let's do it. All right, let's take a look, and I see a notch right here. I might have been able to access that from the rear, but probably not. You're probably going to want to come back here and put the seats. I'm going to try it on the other side. Now that I know where it is, I guess in a pinch you could put it down from back here. That's the age-old issue of that headrest getting in the way. But if we take a look, with this load level and the seats down, you have some pretty decent cargo space. It is narrow, but it would be easy to manage in here. I'm satisfied with that. Now, since we're already talking about the back, let's go ahead and do things in opposite order. Let's talk about this back seat. This back seat fully. And I want you to take a close look at this. It's dog hair. I did not have a dog in this car, but we went to my sister's house and we sat down and picked up some dog hair and transferred it. And I tell you this because if you have a dog that sheds and you're considering fabric seats, this is something you may want to know. Let's just talk about this seat fabric for a minute. First of all, I love it. I am normally a huge fan of leather seats. This has premium quilted fabric seats. That is also new this year for 2019. I find it to be super comfortable. It's just not great for dog hair. So I spend most of my time in these vehicles as the driver. But let's face it, we're also going to have passengers. So let's explore the back seat from the perspective of a 5'3" lady. I'm sitting behind what would be my driver's seat. So a nice 5'3" lady driving up front, and I have plenty of room and I'm super comfortable. And then we have the seat that is arranged for my 6'2" husband. Let's try that. Again, I'm comfortable, but if you were much bigger than me, it might be a bit of a tight ride. And this is considered a 5-passenger vehicle, and if I'm sitting in the middle, it's not gonna be super comfortable because we got the hump here. Someone's got to take the hump, and it's usually me because I'm the short lady. But look, there is a USB port back here for your back seat passengers. That's great. And you will also find drink holders in the door. And now out of the back and into the front, let's go ahead and get in the driver's seat and see all that the cabin has to hold. All right, we are ready to talk about the most important seat in the house, the driver's seat. And I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. By the way, idiot alert, I just found out this morning, a little too late, that it has a remote start. Why didn't I know that all the school mornings that I had to go out there and wait for the car to de-ice? I could have done remote start, it could have been heating, and anyway. Like I said, idiot alert. So here we go. I am behind the wheel. Now, I am 5'3". My husband is 6'2". We both sat in the car, and I'm comfortable. He's comfortable. So there is a lot of headroom here, but I will say it took me quite a while to get comfortable behind the seat. When I first sat down, I thought, I am not going to like this car. Like, I just felt like a proper British man or maybe Italian man sitting behind the wheel, and I just couldn't seem to get comfortable. So you might have to work with the seat a little bit. In this particular trim level, it does have a manual seat, so it's a bar down here that you push forward, and you can pump it up and down. You can actually get, I think it's called the comfort package, that will give you the power seats, the 8-way adjustable power seats, the lumbar support, and all that good stuff, which normally are an absolute must-have for me. But this one I didn't mind. It just took me a little while to get, you know, the telescoping steering wheel and the foot distance and the everything arranged. But once I got it arranged, I was really, really comfortable. Like I said, these premium quilted cloth seats are super comfortable for the drive. I'm going to talk about the drive in just a minute. Okay, let's take a look at the cockpit. Okay, there's that Fiat nameplate. While I'm here, you guys, you have to hear this horn. Can you hear that? It's such a cute little European horn. Anyway, this is what it looks like inside. It's kind of a no frills interior. This right here you'll see is the body color. It's the same as the outside. And at first I thought I wouldn't like that it was maybe felt too plasticky, but I don't really mind it. And I think if you had a brighter colored Fiat, like maybe the orange, this is going to be orange, which is going to be quite a big statement on the inside. So I don't know if that's something that you would like or not. You do have a 7-inch touchscreen display. You do have Apple CarPlay and you do have Android Auto. I know sometimes I misstate that, but that is a fact on this one. What I don't like, this is the top of the screen. This is the bottom of the screen. Do you see that? You see that? And with Apple CarPlay, this is the display area. So I feel like I'm missing a good inch on this side, a half inch on that side, and more at the bottom as well. I have not found a way that you could modify the display and say, please make it full screen. So I do feel like they're not making full use of the 7-inch display there. Unfortunately, right here, we do have a stop-start engine. I didn't mind it. I didn't feel the need to turn it off, but you can do that if you want with a simple press of a button. Down here, the controls are pretty simple. This is the fan. This is the heating and the air conditioning. And I'm used to a specific temperature control, but again, sometimes simpler is better. I did not mind this at all. And what I liked over here is when you're selecting the mode, is you can have it at your feet, you can have it defrosting, or you can have it somewhere in the middle. I think cars used to do that, and I kind of miss that. I like that. All right, down here we do have heated seats, and it just has 2 settings, which I'm fine. High, low, and off. I don't really need anything more complicated. You have a USB charging cable, and this is the cable, the port that you would use rather for your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and it does have an auxiliary port as well. Minor complaint, because I use Apple CarPlay all the time, so I'm keeping my phone plugged in, and there's no real convenient place to put it. So I do like it when car manufacturers create spots that just like accommodate your phone so it doesn't feel all crazy like this. But I show it to you because that's a reality. If you have a phone, it's just probably not going to fit nicely down in there. And there is a 12-volt port. I think it's always good to have one of those. Can we talk about this gear shifter for a minute? First of all, one thing I notice is that when you're going from park to drive, it didn't happen this time, but I found that it has a tendency to slip into this manual mode if you're doing it quickly. Like if you're just going like this, I didn't do it. It's not doing it now, but it happened to me several times where it flipped over here, the car's revving, and then you realize you're in second gear. So that's just something to watch for. But look at this. Look at this, guys. It unsnaps. Can we figure out why? At first I thought maybe it was so you could clean this, and then my husband thought maybe it's so you have access to whatever's under here for repair. I don't know, but hey, it's snappy. Okay, we do have different drive modes for your all-wheel drive. I didn't try out any of these. Oh, that's sport mode. And that is Traction Plus. All right, we're definitely going to try those on the way home. We've got our 2 cup holders, electronic parking brake, and then a teeny tiny little console. You see, it's tiny. You don't need much in there. Also, I feel the need to mention the glove box because it's very European in nature, very small, kind of like a Volkswagen glove box. Okay, what else do I need to tell you? I mentioned it's a comfortable ride, and over here, this is stupid. I don't care. I'm going to tell you anyway. This little armrest, the whole thing is padded. And I can't stop touching it. It's kind of like squeezing the Charmin. I just find it to be super comfortable and kind of soothing when I'm driving. I'm being dead serious, guys. And last but not least, and probably most important, is the drive of this vehicle. So let's get this on the road and then we'll wrap up this review. So we're chasing daylight here, but I wanted to give you a chance to see what I love about this car, and that is the driving experience. It's got a 1.3 liter turbocharged engine that puts out 177 horsepower. That's nothing to get excited about, but has 210 pound-feet of torque. It's zippy, so it moves. And even though I'm on backcountry roads, I can't go full speed. I want to show you a little bit about what it has to offer. So where I find it really makes its mark is when you're driving at a normal pace and you need to accelerate or overtake, the torque really kicks in and gives you great performance on the road. This handles really well, and it's easy to see why Fiat is often a performance vehicle. If you missed my video, I have taken the Fiat 500, which is the smaller version, on the track, the Fiat 500 Abarth, and it is an amazing car. Let me show you what's under the hood. I just have to throw this in there. This engine, which is a sweet engine. When I went to put this up, it was really hard to hold the hood and to put the hood latch on. So short ladies, beware. So let's go ahead and wrap up my review of this cute little compact crossover. First of all, if you're thinking about something like this, or maybe you haven't been thinking about it, some of the competitors for this vehicle, from what I've seen, the Honda HR-V, the Jeep Renegade, the Buick Encore, the Mazda CX-3, the Subaru Crosstrek, and also the Mini. That's the first thing I thought of when I got behind the wheel of this car. Actually, there's a Mini that just drove up, and they're driving away because they know they spent too much money on their car. Yeah, this is going to price out significantly less than a Mini. So if you're looking for that sort of compact European car, it's got that same kind of design, that same style, but at a lower price. So let's talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and then I'm going to give you the sticker. But there's good news at the end of that. So what I really liked about this, I gotta be honest, the driving performance. 177 horsepower, but that torque, 210 pound-feet of torque, it is fun to drive, it's zippy to drive. In fact, I took my 12-year-old out in this because I thought it was a great example to help him understand what torque really is. I like the fabric on the seats, I like the heated seats, I like the remote start, I like that little cushioned armrest on the inside, and I love that it has all-wheel drive standard. Now, is there room for improvement? I think so. I showed you that 7-inch touchscreen. I just don't love it. I just don't think they're taking full use of that touchscreen. To me, that's a software update, and I think that's something that should be relatively easy for them to fix. I don't love the spare tire situation. I just feel like spare tires should come with the car, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. The other thing that can use some improvement. Now, I'm a big follower of Consumer Reports. They rate cars every year and rank them based on reliability. And Fiat, I gotta be honest, never ranks really highly. So out of 5 stars, we'll just say stars for lack of a better term, it's usually at about 2.5, so at that midway point. I would like to see better ratings on reliability for Fiats, but that's strictly based on what I've read, not from personal experience. All of that said, let's talk about pricing because there's some good news for you there. So the base price on the Fiat 500X Trekking, which is what this is $25,995. That is a fantastic price for a compact crossover like this. This does have a lot of options. It has the cold weather group for $295. That gives you heated front seats and a windshield wiper de-icer. Oh, maybe that's why it de-iced so quickly. You have the advanced driver assistance group and the driver assistance group. You know, I didn't mention this. I did not love the lane departure warning system that they had. It just would like keep me in the lane, and it gets very torquey when you drift out of your lane for any reason, even if it's for a valid reason. And I couldn't figure out how to turn that off, but I did dial down the sensitivity. That is $13.95 for the advanced group and $8.95 for the regular group. I wish auto manufacturers would start to make these safety features standard. It does have the roof rails for $195. That's a bargain. The compact spare tire for $295. The Uconnect nav system with 7-inch display for $695. If you ask me, skip that. You still get the same 7-inch display, and you can use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto instead. And then the 18-inch rim upgrade along with the all-season performance tires for $495. That is definitely worth it in my book. Destination charge of $1495. So all said and done, the MSRP on this one right here, $31,755. Fuel economy, I didn't talk about, averages 26 miles per gallon, 24 city, 30 highway. I got about 24 because I did city and highway. So not as good as I was hoping, but I tended to drive it a little bit hard. Now the good news, I said there was good news. If you've made it all the way to the end, I priced out this exact Fiat in my area, and the dealers have it for about $5,000 off of MSRP. That makes this a bargain. And I'm going to end on that note, end on a high note, and hope I've made you rethink a little bit more about the Fiat 500X. Super fun to drive. Go out and test drive it and check it out for yourself. More importantly, I need you to subscribe to this channel. That's what allows me to keep coming back and doing car reviews for you. I appreciate all of your comments. I read each and every single one, and I try to respond to all of them, even if it's 2 years later. So thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time.